Ngolo Kante, he is back in the France squad for this summer Euros. Look, Ngolo Kante, brilliant footballer. Just all around brilliant footballer. He's had an amazing career and it warms my heart. You have no idea how happy I am to see him back playing at top international level. And I don't think there'll be anybody to criticize this move by Didier Deschamps. And I'm not here to criticize it at all. This is, for me, absolutely great move. Look, I'm going to be lying to you if I said I watch Saudi Pro League. I don't watch Saudi Pro League at all. I don't really have the time to watch that. I have a lot of the top European leagues to worry about in the first place. But this was a guy that didn't leave, he was injured. He was injured a lot at Chelsea, but there was no crazy drop-off for me. Obviously, there was a drop-off in Chelsea, and he was injured, and, he was in and out of the team. But I didn't see no crazy drop-off. And obviously, Didier Deschamps, he has scouts in there, and scouts there that's watching, he's studying, and he's seeing, and he's noticing, Ngolo Kante, there is no real drop-off. He must have. That's the reason why he brought him in the squad. And, Didier Deschamps, he's not just trying to do favorites. Remember or not, Didier Deschamps had something similar to do, had a similar opportunity in Matuidi. Matuidi was a World Cup winner for France at the World Cup, and he started for France at the World Cup in 2018. He was an important piece in that puzzle. He goes on, he moves to play in the Inter Miami, and that's the end of his run of playing for France. Despite the fact that he didn't come out and internationally retire for France, it just kind of happened just by subconsciously by going to Europe. Didier Deschamps, he's not afraid to make these sort of decisions. When you look at the Euros 2016 squad, he brought in an Ander Pierre-Gignac, who was playing at Tigres at the time for the Mexican League. And he ended up being the second striker in that Euros, an important striker, because besides Giroud, they needed somebody else off the bench that can make an impact. Now, Ngolo Kante, whether or not he's coming in, he's going to be a starter or not, that's probably not. Just when you look at the guys like Zaire Emery, Adrien Rabiot, Griezmann, who's going to play in that midfield, Tchouameni, Camavinga, they got midfielders. But he could come in and he can make an immediate impact, and he'll provide leadership experience. He has won a World Cup. He's not going to be a problem in the locker room, one of the nicest football players, one of the most quiet football players. And if he's playing at the level of Saudi League that he's, he's been brilliant, why can't he come in and make a starting impact for this French national team at these Euros? Why couldn't he do that? When you look at his ability to cover ground, his defensive ability in one-on-one, the protection he provides for a France center-back partnership that's going to be relatively inexperienced on the international stage. This French center-back partnership, I'm very interested to see which direction they go. Who do they start at the Euros? Lately at the last international window, it was Pavard and Upamecano. That was the last international window when they played Germany. He also tried Saliba and Konate. In Saliba, he has not really been one of Deschamps' favorites like that. I really do not know where they want to go with the center-back partnership. And no matter what they choose, they're going to have inexperience at the back line in the international level. So why that elevates the importance of a guy like N'Golo Kante that can come in, provide secondary defensive stability, cover a lot of ground, be a workhorse. allows guys like Griezmann to do primary the attacking part of the game. Griezmann won't have to come back and do a lot of the work that he had to do at the World Cup, covering spaces. N'Golo Kante could do that. Adrien Rabiot also had a lot of work he had to do. He could help out. He could help him out too. I think a midfield three of Kante, Rabiot, and Griezmann is pretty likely. I could see Kante coming in. Now, Kante, more likely than not, he's going to come in as a squad player. But to think that he has no chance to starting, I think is pretty irresponsible, in my opinion. I'll go that far. I think if you're thinking, oh, this is just going to be another squad player, I think it's very irresponsible. N'Golo Kante is a talented football player, and there wasn't no real drop-off. Now, obviously, I'm not going to lie to you. I have not watched him play much at Saudi League, if at all. But, the France Football Federation, Didier Deschamps, the scouts, all that, they got people watching. And if there was thoughts of a significant drop-off in the performance of N'Golo Kante, he will not be in the squad. He will not be in the squad. They don't give, even though 26 people is higher than what it is normal, they don't give out, squad opportunities. Now, he hasn't been in the France squad for 2 years. He's 33 years old, which is not crazy old, but, I like this move a lot. He was an integral part of the team that won the 2018 World Cup. I like this move a lot. This is not the only, player that they announced, the France squad. This was the main thing from the France squad. They actually announced a 25-man squad for the Euros. They didn't announce the full 24. You got some, notable absences like Nkunku, who hasn't played much this season, and Olise, who has had a pretty relative good season. It's looking like Olympics is the more likely destination for him. But as far as the French squad, Areola from West Ham, Mike Maignan from AC Milan, Bryce Samba from Lens made the goalkeeper position, Jonathan Klaus from Marseille, Theo Hernandez from AC Milan, Ibrahim Konate from Liverpool, Jules Koundé from Barcelona, Ferland Mendy, who also makes a return from a long time from Real Madrid, Benjamin Pavard, Inter Milan, William Saliba, Arsenal, first international tournament for him, and then Dayot Upamecano for Bayern, Edouard Camavinga for Real Madrid, Youssouf Fofana from Monaco, who's had a very good season, good young player, Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid, just coming off a hat-trick a few days ago, N'Golo Kante from Al Ittihad, Adrien Rabiot from Juventus, Aurelien Tchouameni from Real Madrid, Warren Zaire-Emery from PSG. And then the forwards, Bradley Barcola gets his first call-up for the French national team from PSG, Kingsley Coman from Bayern, Ousmane Dembele from PSG, Olivier Giroud from AC Milan, Randal Colomwani from PSG, Kylian Mbappe from PSG, and Marcos Thuram from Inter Milan. So you see here, this squad does have talent. They always have talent. I'm interested to see at the forward position whether they go with an Olivier Giroud or Marcus Thuram, who gives you something a little bit else, two different dynamics of players who they like to go. Both players that are, Olivier Giroud has the experience of being the number 9 for France, but Marcus Thuram has been having a very good season, a winning season at Inter Milan. But Bradley Barcola, got a talented player, pacey player, and the product is a little bit shaky, but he'll be a perfect guy, 20-30 minutes left to go, with the pace that he has, with his directness to go out of back line. Kingsley Coman provides that too. I think Ousmane Dembele, he's going to be in the squad, the starting lineup. I think the front three is going to be Ousmane Dembele, Mbappe, and it's between Giroud and Marcus Thuram. I think really that's the front three. I think Griezmann is going to stay in that midfield role. But my main thing is, as I spoke earlier, the center-back partnership. What are they going to do? Are they going to play a Pavard, who doesn't really play in a center-back in a back two? That's not his position. He can play in a back three as a center-back, but playing a center-back in a back four, that's not really his main strengths. He doesn't have the muscle on him to take on that load. He doesn't, maybe his positioning might be a little bit off in that. They lost against Germany when he was playing center back. I don't know if that's the right position for him. This is a Didier Deschamps. He loves him. He starts him all the time, no matter what it is at right back or center back. He loves himself. Some Benjamin Pavard. But yeah, the Saliba, does he finally get some favor after a very good season? Does he finally get some favor from Didier Deschamps? Lucas Hernandez, that's a big loss. He tore another ACL, missing another international tournament for France. It's a huge loss for them. That's somebody that could have filled that center back role. Upamecano, not playing much for Bayern, been shaky all season. Konate, I think he's probably going to get in there. Konate, and I think the other slot really comes down to either Pavard or Saliba. Saliba is the best center back out of the lot, but it really just depends on Deschamps and what direction he'd like to go in.